Ghana's COVID-19 case count trended downwards 3 months ago, with active cases less than 400. But the situation has changed, with more than 1,400 cases as of January 11. Experts have warned of a second wave and the need for government to ramp up efforts to fight the spread of the virus. But how did we get here?
I think the studies we've done and a close look at the clusters, it shows clearly that we're having cases as a result of confined and closed gatherings, which were mainly related to the Christmas and the New Year festivities. Now, one of the reasons or one of the discoveries we made, which was not too surprising, was that we didn't get a lot of cases in the campaign time because a lot of activities were outdoor. So
even though the crowds were huge and there was no social distancing.
Exactly. Even though, because a number of things must come together to make the risk so high that transmission is very fluid. And I'm not saying that a crowd gathering is not a risk factor. But if a crowd gathers, they are not in mask and they share the same air, that's when they are in an enclosed space, then the risk of breathing someone's particles becomes very significant, unlike if you are in an open space.
These notwithstanding, Dr. Oko Boye allays fears of parents and stakeholders as schools reopen soon.
Even as we open schools, what you want to do is to put in place risk reduction measures. And that's not to say there's zero risk. Just as there's no, just as there's some risk at the workplace, parents go to work, they go to the market, they go to shops, they see their friends. Anywhere they go, they also have some risk. But why do they step out? Because they believe they are washing their hands, they are wearing their mask. Look, I think it's important to assure parents that we are not doing this recklessly. That's why the government has put in place a mechanism to ensure that all schools are fumigated, disinfected. You make sure students go to school with the government giving them masks. We are looking at least 2 for each student. We are making sure that the Veronica buckets we sent across the country, this time we go and reinforce with soap, liquid soap, so that people can use it and all that. These are the things you do to ensure that there is no outbreak.
Some frontline health workers have complained of the non-payment of insurance claims and other stimulus packages. The former Deputy Health Minister had this to say.
There were some that had been validated by the insurance company as deserving payments. And we agreed at the meeting that they should do that expeditiously. So I've not checked with our heroes and heroines, those health workers who have had COVID and are supposed to benefit. I've not checked, but I will not be surprised if some of them are called and they say that they've received some payments, because I think there were about 270 or so at the meeting that had been validated and could be paid. But there were others that we had to look at their documentation, evidence of being positive, being admitted and all that. It's an ongoing, but I know that the package still exists and we'll do well to make sure that workers receive it.
President Akufo-Addo has repeatedly announced that pubs, clubs and beaches remain closed, often to the wonder of the public, as these places remain vibrantly opened. Dr. Oko Boye says government will soon sanction lawbreakers.
Same thing where you want people to cooperate so that together we are all partners. It should not look like we climbing down. Imagine the picture where 100 people have been arrested, let's say in Accra, put on a truck, being sent to Central Accra Police Station, being processed. It's as if we are at war. But let me quickly add that the last time the president spoke in addressing the nation, he made it clear that he's sent a strong signal to the IGP for him to make sure that they act, at least to deter those who are breaking the laws with impunity. And I'm sure that going forward, you start to see that, because we've come to the point where, as a country, we must go for those who try to jeopardize all of us by flouting the rules.